I am a digital marketing consultant and AI consultant as well. I have about 20 to 25 years experience in the IT domain, and I've helped so many Fortune 500 companies. So this is the reason why you have to listen to me. I also run an agency that helps IT companies with their AI and marketing solutions. And so that is why I provide this kind of classes. I help companies and businesses as well as students who want to uh, better their AI skills and also learn digital marketing because everybody is going digital right now. And so people are going to need our services. AI solutions and digital marketing is very, very, very big right now. So let's dive in. But before we go to that, let me also let you know that I'm a life coach and I help people to unleash their potential. I'm more like the driving mirror. I look at your blind spots and I can tell you how we can move on from one, from step one to step 10. And so if you are somebody who needs life coaching, you got the right guy. I can help you with your business and also help you with your life in general. And so, yeah, let's set the ball rolling. So, so a lot of people ask, what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is the skill of crafting effective inputs or prompts to get desired results or outputs from AI models. And so, in simple terms, it means it's about clear communication with AI. Now, if you are not clear with AI, it's garbage in, garbage out. So if you are not very clear with AI, it's going to give you subpar results. And so think of it like giving directions to someone who is super smart, right? But doesn't know anything about you or your situation. So you have to help them to understand you better and what you are looking for. And so, in simple terms, it's about clear communication with AI. That's it. Don't complicate this. This is not rocket science. That's it. All right. So let's move on to the next slide. And why is it so important? It is important because there are a lot of jobs right now that is prompt engineering, and there is a lot of job opportunities. So if you take this to the next level, there are a lot of job opportunities, remote job opportunities that you can get, and they are paying very, very, very high salary. It's very lucrative. And let me go to Google and show you something. I just did prompt engineering jobs in Miami, and as you can see, the results was about 1.1 million results, right? So there are a lot of jobs for prompt engineering for ChatGPT because companies need people who know and understand prompt engineering in order to give them better responses and get them to solve bigger problems. And so prompt engineering is something that you can, it's one area in the AI domain that you can specialize and really earn good money. And also, if I go to the average salary for a prompt engineer in the United States, you can see the average salary for a prompt engineer in the United States, it's around 98,000 to 100,000 annually, but ranges widely. That's the entry level to senior level roles. I mean, people are earning up to 300K. Last time I saw a job post for a prompt engineer, which was 350,000, and that is like high level, but you get the point. And so, prompt engineering is very good. And for today's demo, we are going to uh, get our hands dirty as to how we can instruct our AI modules or our chatbot with the right instructions. And I'm going to show you some examples with some vague prompts and like explicit prompts to show you the difference between these two prompts and how you can use them. And also, I'm gonna give you some cheat code, or let's say some advanced tips of how to go about prompting your chatbot. And so let's go back to the slides and let's start. So companies need people who can work effectively with AI, and prompt engineering is becoming a required skill across industries. Tech professionals who master this stand out, right? They stand out, and we get better results from AI tools. You get precise answers instead of generic responses. So stop settling for vague, unhelpful outputs that don't meet your needs and start blaming your chatbot, right? If you don't put in the right instructions, you're not gonna get the the feedback that you want. It's also save time by getting it right first time. And if you are somebody who is on a subscription to, let's say, um, or you have the free version of ChatGPT, if you don't give the right instructions, you are going to waste a lot of time, and sometimes you waste credits. Even if you are on the paid version, um, some AI products or some AI tools have credit. And so you buy and then you use them. If you don't have the right prompt, you are going to waste all your credit even before you get the right feedback from ChatGPT. And so you want to make sure that you are giving it the right information, and it also unlocks the full potential of your AI model. So ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and other AI tools access the capabilities you didn't even know existed in your favorite AI tools. So this is really great. In order for you to succeed in the AI domain, you need to have a strong foundation of AI um, prompt engineering. And so if this is hitting home, if this is making sense to you, if you are following what I'm talking about, please say, yeah, I love AI engineering, just to give me a feedback to understand that you are getting value from this. And I'm watching the chat, so go ahead and let me know. All right. So let me move on to the next thing. So, in order to have a good um, prompt, you need to make sure that four components are always present with your prompt. And I think when we started this free online classes, the first class we did about the introduction to AI and digital marketing, I talked about prompt engineering on the surface level, right? So this is the deeper dive that I told you we're going to talk about. But there are four main components of a good prompt. And the first one is that you have to define a role. And I'm going to show you an example of that. You have to define a role, like assign a persona to the AI. Let's say you are an accountant, you are a software engineer, you are a content writer, you are a YouTuber, you are whatever you want to be, whatever you are, just assign a persona to that prompt. Example, as a marketing expert, you are a seasoned editor, and behave like a career coach. And the second thing that you need to specify, or the component that you need, the second component, is you have to specify the task. What is it supposed to do? Now, you have to clearly state what you want the AI to do. Example, write an email, summarize an article, or create a content calendar. So that is the first part, is you have to make sure you assign a persona like an accountant. And then the second one is to specify the task, what you want the chatbot to do. And then the third one is going to be you provide context, sorry, which is like the background, the details, examples, the things you want, the things you don't want, all those things, right? And also you have to, let's say, tell the bot or the AI, the audience. For instance, I'm a software engineer and I want to send a message to IT service providers, right? IT service providers will be my audience. And so you have to specify your audience, the situation. Let's say, for instance, I want to talk to them about how to increase their revenue by with lead generation, consistent flow of warm leads into their pipeline so that they can close these leads and generate more revenue. And so this is what you need to tell the AI for it to understand into details what you are really looking for and what kind of problems are you solving, as I said, and also any relevant background information. And then the fourth one that you have to is to set constraints, right? So include desired length. Let's say you want 500 words, you want 200 words. You want the conversation to be serious or friendly or formal. If I'm writing to, let's say, um, people in, let's say, JSS or in high school, I can say that, okay, write this for a sixth grader or for somebody, at the university level, or maybe let this be high level, professional with legal terminologies. All those things, these are the constraints that you can add. Let's say, I want my feedback in a bullet point list, avoid technical jargons and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to show you how you can set all these constraints in your chat GPT. And it's going to be the same thing for Claude and all the other AI models, right? And so that is the four things you usually need: the persona, the task, the what is it, the context, and then the constraints or the limitation, what you don't want it to do. And uh, the power of a good prompt. What makes a prompt a good one? You have to remember that mastering prompt engineering ensures you harness AI's power effectively, avoiding vague and irrelevant results. And that's the difference. It's the difference between asking a question and getting a precise, actionable answer, or wasting time and getting results immediately, or getting a generalized content or a personalized, useful content that is targeted for a specific uh, demographic or a specific person, whatever it is. And so that is this. So yeah, if this is, helping you to understand what you need to get for a good prompt, drop a one in the chat so that I know, because this is not really interactive as of now, and so I'm not able to know whether this is making this is good value or not. So drop a one if this is hitting home. Let's move on. Now I'm going to do some examples, right? We're going to get our hands dirty, and I've already prepared something here. So, for example, content creation. Let's say you are a content creator, you write blogs and all that kind of stuff, and you want to generate a content for, let's say, meditation. I have a blog about meditation, right? I'm very big into meditation, and so that's why I picked meditation. Now, if I tell ChatGPT to write something about meditation, now let's use this, right? I'm going to put this in ChatGPT, and you're going to see the answer that I'm going to get. And what is wrong with this kind of strategy, right? It's the format is not specified, no length given, no audience defined, no purpose stated. This means that it's going to give you whatever it thinks that it is, right? And so let's try and see. Now, like, put it here, and let's see what it's going to tell us. Meditation is a simple practice with deep impact. It begins with blah, 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 blah. As you can see, it's not really, it's just giving us a generalized answer, right? This might be what you're looking for. It might not be what you're looking for. And so if you have, if you, let's say, on a subscription and you have to protect your credits, and you are just typing vague inputs into your chatbot, you are going to waste all your credit even before you get your answer. So this wasn't really something, concrete as to what I was looking for. Now let's go back, and I have prepared this questionnaires here, the prompt. Now the good prompt is going to be like this. Let's pick this one. Yeah. And then let's go back. And so the second one is going to be like, act as a wellness blogger, right? Write a 300-word blog post introduction about the benefits of morning meditation. So you can see here we have the persona, right? And then you have the contest here. You have the contest, which is write a 300 blog post introduction about the benefits of morning meditation for busy tech professionals. We are very explicit here. That is the audience, right? And then on the contest, this is the contest. Use a friendly, engaging, encouraging tone and include one practical tip to get started. The target audience is software developers who think they don't have time to meditate, right? This is like in my alley. This is all about me. This is what I write. And so let's see what we are going to get. And it's going to give you exactly what you asked it for. I mean, sometimes it's not going to be 100%, but it's going to be 98%. And you can just tweak here and there to get it right. Now, as you can see, it's gone beyond just the vague, and it's giving me a lot of information. It's going to make sure that this is a 300 um, character article, and it addresses everything. And so that is the point. Let's do another example with a different prompt. Now, this is another one here, which is a vague one. It says, help me write an email, right? This is about email writing. You can use ChatGPT for everything. And so this is, help me write an email to a client. Now, who is the client? What does that client do? I mean, there's no background, there's nothing. And so if you type this, it's going to give you something vague, and you might think that your chatbot or your AI is not that good, but the problem is you, not the chatbot. So now I can help, but I need more details before writing the email. Now I will tell you why we are getting this feedback. There was no way for me to show you this first before, so I'll go back and explain that. But as you can see, it's all that this is a vague prompt, right? And this is like the guardrail I've set in my account. And so it is telling me that, hey, I can help, but I need a bit more information. Now, you might type the same thing into your chat and you're not going to get this. You can try. Help me write an email to a client. If you have your chat GPT open right now, just type the same thing into there. It might not ask you these questions that it asked me because of the configuration I have at the back end of my profile. And so now I'm going to give it the right prompt. Now the right prompt is like it says, act act as a professional business consultant. Write a follow up email to a potential coaching client who attended my free webinar last week but hasn't responded to my initial outreach. The tone should be warm and non pushy. Keep it under 150 words. Include a clear call to action for a 15-minute discovery call. Client's name is Sarah, and she mentioned struggling with work-life balance during the Q&A. See, a lot of information, and let's see what the chat is gonna do. And so we give it this prompt, and let's see the magic. So it's gonna craft that email real quick, and you see here it says subject matter, subject, quick follow up after the webinar. Hi, Sarah. I hope you have been doing well since the last week webinar, whatever. I wanted to personally follow up and thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts during the Q&A. You mentioned feeling stretched with work-life balance, and I wanted to say, you get the whole point. I'm not going to read everything because we have a lot of slides to go through, but that is it. Warm regards, Eric. You just copy this and paste it in your email uh, to and then send. You can make some tweaks and personalize it, change some words here and there, but you get the whole idea. So it's all about giving it a very good prompt to get the best result. Otherwise, you be going back and forth, back and forth. And so let's go back to our slides. We finished with the first um, um, examples. Now, I have some hacks for you, and this is very important. Okay, let's uh, slow down a little bit. So I told you that every prompt has four components, right? You have the persona, you have the context, you have the limitations, and the other one. I've forgotten about it, but we can check on the slides. Uh, if you don't remember this stuff, right? As you can see, I couldn't remember all the four, right? But if you don't remember all these four, there is a hack that you can use. And there are about four different hacks you can use to get your prompt, okay? Because you are dealing with AI. AI can handle a lot of stuff. And so AI helping you with a prompt, it's not something new. You either give it the right prompt or you ask it to help you. And so the first one is to give it custom instructions. The first hack is custom instructions. And how do you do this? To get the AI to ask you questions, right? You want the AI to ask you questions. For example, if my request is too broad, ask me follow up questions before generating answers. Does this ring a bell? Remember the vague prompt I gave. Help me write an email to a client. Remember, it was asking me questions. Why? Because in the back end, I have custom instructions for ChatGPT, let's say, or Claude. And when I give a vague or when it doesn't understand my prompt, it's going to ask me questions before it generates the prompt, right? And so this is very good. If you don't remember all the four things that we talked about, this is one of the ways you have to go about it. And that is the reason why when I asked it to give me write an email to a client, it said I can help, but I need a bit more information, right? The purpose of the email, the tone you want, who the client is, individual company, any key points or outcomes you want to be included, and also how do you want to sign off your name and role. Got it? So the reason why it's asking me this question is that I set up something in my profile on in chat gpt, and so in order to do that you have to come to your profile. If you have a chat gpt account, you come to your profile, which is your name, and then you go to settings. Now when you go to settings, you have general, but you go to personalization. I think last time I went through this, but you go to personalization, right? And then under personalization, you go to custom instructions, right? Custom instructions. Now, custom instructions, this is what I put in mind. When responding to my prompts, if any part is unclear or lacks sufficient detail, please ask clarifying questions before proceeding in your responses. I mean, in your responses, avoid using long dashes. I hate those long dashes. So I've instructed it never to include it in my responses. Do not use the word fluff. Like when you use AI, it's always going to say, this is no fluff, this is no this is no that. So I instruct it to be direct and concise and free from unnecessary filler. Sometimes they hallucinate and they say things that you didn't even ask them to say. And sometimes when they hallucinate, they give you wrong information. So This is one of the ways to reduce hallucinations and things that you don't want, and to protect your credit, and to also to protect your time. And like the nickname, you can add things like nickname, but this is not part of what we are learning today. So this is where you set your custom instructions. So once again, let's do this. Let's do this. You go to your profile, um, you go here, and then you go to settings, and then you go to personalization, and then under personalization, custom instructions. This is where you put all your instructions, so it's not going to mess around. The things you put, you can put more, whatever you want, you can ask it to do it over here. And so that is the first one, right? That is the first hack, and that is going to ask you questions, and you are going to answer those questions, and that will help you to give you the right prompt, or give you that information you are looking for. The second one is to ask for a detailed prompt. For example, can you create a detailed AI prompt to create a high quality YouTube channel for a spirituality focused uh, channel? So this one here is, for example, you are not sure, right? So let's copy this and try it. Um, so let's go here, and I said, I need a good prompt for this. So I do this. Can you create a detailed AI prompt to create a high quality YouTube channel banner for a spirituality focused channel? So let's see what it's going to do. So here, I'm not sure about the prompt, right? And so I'm just giving it an idea to go ahead and give me something. And at that point, I would decide, okay, this is what I'm looking for, or this is not what I'm looking for. And so now, here is a detailed, high quality AI image prompt you can use for tools like Midjourney, blah, 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 blah. So it's even giving you more ideas. But this is the prompt that I'm looking for. Create a high resolution YouTube channel banner for a modern spirituality and consciousness focused channel. The design should feel calm, expansive, and uplifting. Background features a soft sunrise or cosmic sky blending deep, blah, 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 blah. Now, this looks like a perfect prompt for me, right? To me. Now, if I don't want it, all that I need to do is to copy this again and then drop it here, and I'm going to make some changes, right? I'm going to make some changes. Maybe background features a soft sunrise, and I can add something deep blue skies and warm golden tones, and I can even add more. Um, Subtle sacred geometry patterns, and I can remove some from if it's too much. No heavy symbolism. Style should be cinematic. I can say that, okay, I don't want this one, right? I don't want all of this. I can take it out. Okay. So this is another way you ask ChatGPT to help you with a prompt. And so that is the second strategy you can use. You ask for a detailed prompt. The third one is conversational AI prompting. And so you talk to your chatbot like a friend. Okay, I'm looking for this. How can you help me with that? And so for this, for example, we can do, what are some of the important factors to consider when creating a YouTube title? Right? And you can guide it until it gets what you want. And so, like, let me drop this in the um, chat, the AI. So, this one here, and we put this. What are some of the, and that. So you are a power user. I'm already a power user. Anyway, that's what I was talking about. It's asking me that, I'm using my credit, but I'm already a plus user, but I don't know why it's asking me that. Um, But this is the stuff that I got back, right? Here is the most important factor to consider, especially if you want both clicks and long term growth, clarity, blah, 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 blah. And so, are you a strong YouTube title sets expectation, attracts, and once you look at this, you make a decision. Okay, how do I go about it? Okay, can you help me come up with what was the question? A YouTube creating a YouTube title. Can you help me come up with a YouTube title for a video like title for a video to IT service providers on the topic of um, let's say lead automation nurturing. All right. Can you help me come up with a YouTube title? Can you help me come up with a prompt for a YouTube? Yeah. So let's see what we're gonna get. Because I'm not sure what kind of prompt and the title and all those kind of stuff. It's going to, here are several ready to use prompt templates you can give to ChatGPT or any tool to generate titles for IT service providers, right? On lead automation nurturing. And as you can see, it gave me like three different or four different prompts, right? And I can pick which one I want. Generate, like the first one, general high performance title prompt. Generate 10 YouTube video titles for managed IT service providers. You get a point. I'm not going to go through all that. Now, one good feature for ChatGPT is that, let's say I love this prompt. I want it. I want to keep it so that I can reuse it all the time. This is what I'm going to do. You just copy this prompt and you save it. And so when you come to your home page, let me see here. Uh, okay, let me go here. I'm getting some errors here. RD. All right. So as you can see, they are already anytime that you get to your chat GPT, the homepage, or yeah, you're going to see a lot of prompts, pre-made prompts, right? These are all public prompts. You can also create and generate prompts that you can save in the public. And so here, I want only four prompts to be displayed, the public one. Now, as you can see, if I go to own, I don't have any prompts here, right? And so this is where you can save your prompts that you can reuse. You can save them here. If you want to share with the public, then you have to be here and then you can add it, right? You can add it to public prompts and it will be available for other people to use it. But if you want to keep it private, then you can add a private one. You put the prompt in there, and then you can give like the keyword, prompt hint, the title, keywords. What is it for? Is it for copywriting? Is it for accounting or for sports? Whatever, you specify the category. So that's how you can save some of this prompt from the exercise we just did, right? And then the last hack that you can use is reverse engineer prompting. Now, this is one of my favorites. Let's say you see an image of, let's say, a dog wearing um, Louis Vuitton with some crown and all that kind of stuff. You wonder what kind of prompt did this person use to create this image. Sometimes you see an image it's so vivid and nice, and you wonder what kind of prompt did this person use to get this kind of image. And so with that, you can, let's say, okay, let's go here. So let me see the example here. You pick an image, you grab an image and giving it to the AI to give you the prompt that can generate a similar image. So let's say if that is a dog, I use a dog as an example, but if it is you want to do it for a goat, it's the same thing. You're just gonna change the name. You're just gonna change the animal, the type of the animal, like dog to goat, right? And so let's say uh, grabbing an image. Let me see if I have. This is a different computer, so I don't think I have enough images here. But let me see if I can show you something. Um, let's see. Okay. All right. Let me see. P. I just picked somebody's logo, and yeah. So let's see. So for instance, I can attach an image, add photos. So I'm going to take this image here. It's just a logo. I don't think I have any better image here for this example because this is a different computer and I don't want to download any online images as of now. So let's use this logo, right? So how can I get a prompt to give me a similar logo? And then I'm gonna hit enter. So let's see what kind of prompt. And you can do this with any image. Like I said, you can see a dog with some cool stuff or any logo, any business logo, whatever. And then it can give you that prompt. And then you can take that prompt and put it in your image um, to generate you that. I'm not going to go through that because image generation takes some time to happen. And we're going to use some prompt to generate images and content and all that, like applying this in real life, in real time. We're going to do that in another class. Okay. So here you just have to understand how prompts work. And so here it says AI logo prompt, right? Create a high quality logo inspired by a modern minimalist design style. The logo should feature a clean professional symbol with blah 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 blah. And so, like, if I want to change the color, I will just change the color. If I want it to be, this looks like a triangle, I can say make it a rectangle, right? There's so much using this information is can give me everything that I need to get a similar logo. It could be any image, and so just know that. But that is a reverse engineer prompting. So you can take a YouTube, or let's say, let me give you another example. You can take, let's say, you pick a YouTube title and then uh, uh, um, ask ChatGPT why that image is going viral, right? And so let's see, let's go to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube, and let's say we want to pick a title of a video that is going viral, and then ask uh, ChatGPT why this is so, um, why this is going, what made it go viral? Is it the topic or whatever? Let's see, the AI revolution. So let me see if I can find a good video that is going viral. Okay, this was posted 2 weeks ago, but it already has about 90K views, right? That is pretty good. So let's see. Let's see how. why this is trending or why this is going viral. So I'm gonna copy the this, and then I come to ChatGPT and say this is a YouTube title that is going viral. Can you can you tell me why this is going viral and give me a prompt to get such viral titles for my IT services video content, right? So, boom. And here's a clear breakdown of why the title is going viral. So, it's going to tell you everything, followed by copy and paste prompt. You can use this to generate similar high performing titles for your IT services and MSP content. Why this title is going viral? So, it tells you, it breaks it down for you, that strong curiosity, the authority contrast, the simple conversation, and all that. And so, viral title prompt for IT services. Now, it just gave me one. Generate 15 YouTube titles for IT service providers that use curiosity, contrast, and urgency without clickbait. Titles should sound conversational and authoritative. Use patterns like, actually, I'm going to use this, right? I'm going to use this to generate some video topics I'm going to um, talk about. So let's see what we are going to get, right? I love this prompt and I will keep this. I will keep this. So they just discovered a smarter way to scale MSP. So this gives people, it gives them the curiosity and also the authority and all those kind of stuff. So this, you're going to be seeing some videos about this very soon. But yeah, that is it. And so these are the four main hacks that you can use to bypass the four components I talked about. And so the first one is the custom instructions, which you do the settings at the back end of your chat GPT. You ask for detailed prompts. Example is to create a detailed AI prompt to create high quality YouTube banner for a spirituality focus. So you talk to it about it and then you modify it if, when needed. And then the third one is the conversational AI prompting. And that is where you start with a vague conversation and then you ask questions back and forth, back and forth. It's just like the way you set things up, the question that they asked me, you remember that one, right? And then the fourth one is the reverse engineer prompting, where you pick something that you've already seen online, but you want to mimic that, or you want to you want that inspiration, right? You've seen an inspiration, you want to use it to create something or your own, change colors and all that kind of stuff. That is the fourth one. And so, either way, I think after today, after this class, you shouldn't have problems with your prompts, prompting your AI. You should be clear. You should have that clarity of generating good prompts. Okay. And so now we finish with the examples. Let's move on. We did this brainstorming ideas. I'm not going to go through this because it's similar. I need ideas for my YouTube channel. What is wrong with this? No channel topic mentioned, no audience information, no content goals, no format requested. Now, instead of this, you want to be explicit by saying, act as a YouTube content strategist, run a channel called Luminous Consciousness. That is my life coaching business. It's called Luminous Consciousness. Focused on helping tech professionals transition into coaching and entrepreneurship. My audience is software developers, DevOps engineers, and cloud architects interested in personal development and starting their own businesses. Generate 10 video topic ideas that combine tech career insights with spiritual growth. Format as numbered list. you get it, right? And this is about me. This is not something that I just made up. This is all about me, about my coaching business, right? How I help other tech professionals to start their own consulting and AI consulting business or digital marketing consulting. And I also train people, from all walks of life who are interested in digital marketing. And so if I want to, create a YouTube channel, this is what I'm going to do. And it's going to help me with that powerful thing. Um, and common mistakes to avoid is being too general, like we talked about. It shouldn't be vague. We shouldn't not specifying the format. You have to tell it what format you want. Even sometimes I have to go a step ahead and say that, hey, this output, I want to paste it in Google Docs. So make sure you format it properly for Google Docs, right? And if I don't say that and I paste it in Google Docs, I don't get like the right structure. But when I tell it to do that, it gives me that format. And when I put it in my Google documents, you can see that you can see all the pages, the different pages, and all that, like numbered and all the table of content. That's what I'm trying to say. And also, don't forget your audience, right? You have to know who is going to be the end user of your prompt. That is your audience. And also, don't assume that AI knows everything. AI knows a lot of stuff, but it doesn't know what you want. Okay. So that should be noted. And tips for better prompt: be specific, iterate and refine. You're not gonna be an expert within a day or two. I mean, with me, every day, I get better with the prompt, right? I get better even as I'm teaching this right now. I'm getting some ideas about how to refine my prompts. And so you have to be specific, you have to iterate and refine, and also use examples. Show the AI what you want by providing examples. And I always give examples all the time. Can you give me the answer in this kind of format? Can you do this in this way? And also think of AI as a smart assistant. It knows a lot, but knows nothing about your specific situation until you explain it. Okay. So don't assume stuff. It's like that with everything in the world. You don't have to assume things. Um, and so, what is the next step that you have to take on this journey? You have to start prompting your AI tool. Make sure you download sign up for ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. They all have free accounts you can use. If your credit is finished for the day for ChatGPT, move on to Claude and then move on to Gemini. And that's what I do, right? You don't have to have the paid version unless, of course, you are doing high quality work for your clients. Use the four component framework that we just talked about. But if you forget about all the persona, the context, the limitations, and all those things, just go with the four other ones: the reverse engineering, um, let's see here, the custom instructions, right? You should do this first. You should make sure that you do this. This is going to save you a lot of time, a lot of credit. Okay. So implement this, whether you are using the four components strategy or you are using the smart hacks. Just do this one. Just do this first one. It's very, very important. It will help you to, your chat GPT is not just gonna spit out garbage. Keep a prompt library. As I showed you, you can always save your prompts that you want to reuse in the future. You can come here and go to the prompts and then the personal private prompts and save it. And you have to experiment and iterate. That is, try different approaches and learn what works. You learn and share with your friends. And the key takeaways here: prompt engineering is a learnable skill that unlocks AI potential. So it's either you suck or you have a good prompting skills, because everything is going to depend on you. So if your prompting sucks, your AI is going to suck. And don't blame the AI, blame yourself. Use the four components: role, task, context, and constraints. Be specific. More details, the better results. Avoid common mistakes by being not by being vague, by not forgetting your audience, and also not assuming context that the AI knows. And practice makes perfect. Work with prompts all the time. As you work with it, you're going to see you are going to get better by the day. And so this brings us to the end of our demo today. Next week, we're going to go into details about how to apply this in real life to generate images, to generate content for our social media pages. If you're a business owner, you want to know about how to generate content. This is going to save you a lot of money as a business owner if you know how to do all this basic stuff, because people are charging $1,500 to $2,000 a month just by providing you content, and they can generate this content within a minute for the whole month, right? For a whole 6 months. And they will do this within 5 minutes and charge you $2,000 every month. And so knowing this skill is really, really important. And so, yeah, this is the end of our demo today. I've done well by moving so fast, and today I still have 5 minutes to go. So, guys, let me know what you think about this class, and what you are going to do with what you've learned today. Drop it in the chat. Let me know, and let's see what I want. I would love to see what you are going to use this for moving forward, and you can start using it immediately. You can always come back to this video. You can always come back to this video and rewatch it. Watch it as many times as you can. And there are other topics on AI about different stuff that I do on my channel. So make sure you subscribe. And also, please do me a favor by sharing this video, sharing this, what you just learned today, with your network. Drop it on your WhatsApp platforms, your group platforms, share with other people so that they also get the value of this. If we all can understand this, it's going to make the world a better place. And so share with your network, and it also helps the channel to grow. Subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed yet. This helps to get notifications anytime I post a video. I do videos about AI, about digital marketing, and about IT. And so if you are interested in this kind of stuff, yeah, then make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so that you can get all this inspiration and all these valuable lessons free of charge. And at some point down the road, I know a lot of people have been asking me about taking their training to the next level, and I'm putting something together. And so very soon, we're going to have some in-depth training, and that is going to be something that is going to take you to the next level. And remember, AI is broad, right? And so we have prompt engineering. Some people want to be content creators, YouTubers, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to see what you guys want, and based on that, I will be able to put a course together and then take you to the next level. And so once again, thank you very much.